Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome from the Indosim Esports Network here live on a Sunday night. And we're bringing something completely different to you tonight. The Australasian Supercar eSports series here from Talladega. And it's going to be an amazing night of racing as we see a absolutely stocked grid at the moment as we are in the final 6 minutes of practice. But joining me tonight in the booth is Paul Jackson, usually behind the cameras. But Paul Jackson, mate, what a great night we have a racing tonight.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a good turnout. We've got at least 16 and a couple of other cars that haven't turned laps yet. But yeah, it's going to be a fun one around Talladega, that's for sure.
Definitely will. These cars around an oval, generally we don't see these cars go around an oval, but a lot of the racing we've done in this series previously, and Raymond in this, the leader of this series actually, who started this series with a couple of other gentlemen, has continually wanted to promote this, and it creates great racing. And at Talladega, we're definitely going to go 2 or 3 wide. So looking forward to seeing what we're going to get tonight as we currently just look at the practice results before we do hand across to Raymond Yeager. Greg Spencer currently first in practice, Reese Belitho in third, a new driver, Appel, in third, not sure fourth, Malone fifth, Matson in sixth. But without further ado, we're going to bring up into the booth Raymond Yeager. Raymond, have you got a copy, mate?
Yeah, I got you, mate.
Mate, we'll let you go around and chuck a couple of laps with these guys and let the viewers know what the supercar is all about around Talladega, which is pretty much flat out. But while we're letting you do that and talk about that, we're going to give you a chance to talk about your series, what you're doing, the sponsors, everything that it's about. So we'll go in car with you now, mate, as you go out of pit lane, and we will have a chat with you. So we'll wait for you to go out of pit lane and have a chat to you.
Oh, good. Just head out now. Make sure to hit the limiter. So, I mean, it's a lot like the NASCARs. For anyone that's raced the NASCARs, you want to go as fast as you can on this, like the out of the pit bit. You want to be hitting as hard as you can. It's honestly, it's very similar to the NASCAR in that it's full throttle the whole way around. You'll be in 6th gear in the V8, obviously, but so I haven't actually tried to see whether running high early is beneficial, but usually in the NASCAR you run high for a couple of laps and then low. I assume that's a similar thing here. But since the aero update with the wall, you don't want to run right at the wall anymore because you get to push off the wall. So you sort of run mid lane. You probably run a little bit higher than I am at the moment, but just taking it easy. So this will be your first lap. You want to be I always sort of put my right fronts on this white line here the whole way around on this first lap. This would be the first time lap at this point. And I'll do that for both corners and the straight, stay higher. Then once I come out of 3 and 4 here, I will sort of drop to the bottom of the track, which you will see shortly. Once again, trying to stay on this white line. Well, looks like there's some smoke up ahead. Could be interesting. So around here, I sort of drop to the bottom. Others probably do it differently, but I drop to the bottom here. And then I'll just hug this yellow line the whole way on this the last time lap. Yeah, well, we did just have a whole heap of people just join, so it looks like we're going to have a pretty cracker field, which should make it a really, really fun race tonight. The draft in these things is incredible, so it should be a lot of fun racing tonight. I messed up coming out of 2 before, but I don't really mind. It's, as I said, you just want to hug the yellow the best you can the whole way around on the fast lap. Looks like I'm going to be well off the pace, but I'd say some of those other guys had some draft.
Yeah, you definitely did there, Raymond. Sorry to cut you off, but just quickly, mate, I need to cut you off because just wanted to have a quick chat to you with 2 minutes left or a minute and a half left in practice and give you a little bit of a limelight. It's a really great initiative here, being able to double up and back up. We had a supercar series for the last 2 seasons, and now you guys have jumped into the world of running a league as well for the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries. So, mate, a little bit of thought behind that, what you think, your term in the limelight, what you're doing. I do notice there's a couple of road tracks in there as well, which is a little bit different to what we're used to, which is completely amazing in my opinion, because it's going to sort the men out from the boys. But great initiative, mate, and thank you so much for allowing us at InterSim Esports Network to be involved in it. We cannot wait to bring the next 12 rounds of the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries to the viewers across Facebook, Twitch, and also, it's not Twitch, sorry, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, and we cannot wait to bring that to them. So, mate, your time to shine. People to thank, people to talk about, what your thought was about creating this, etc., etc.
Yeah. So obviously, I was involved in the Full Throttle V8 series that was running before, and I always thought that this is very entertaining racing. It's always close. It's always 2, 3, 4 wide on some tracks. So we really wanted to continue that. And I've always thought about, so the last series only ran on ovals. I've always thought that chucking in a couple of road courses would be a good thing. We've stuck to the free content for this series because I wasn't sure if some of the oval guys would have any tracks. But yeah, that was the thought behind it. Obviously, we got Witcher Electrics on board as one of our main sponsors. And AP Esports fantastically, graciously put up the trophy for the winner, which is great. And of course, you guys broadcasting the series is going to be really good. I think there's going to be some great racing.
No, I definitely agree with that, mate. These cars around ovals and let alone the road tracks, they create good racing. But, mate, without further ado, we'll let you go up into your team and get that qualifying lap out. But thank you, Raymond. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Raymond Yeager, the league owner of the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries right here on the InterSim Esports Network. Thank you, Raymond, and we'll be talking to you through the broadcast.
Yeah, hopefully, guys. Thanks for doing it, and have a good call, guys.
No worries, mate. Best of luck, and we'll talk to you soon.
Alrighty, so we are into qualifying now. So 1 minute underway, and the guys are all out on track for their warm-up lap.
Yeah, Paul, they are out on their warm-up lap. As Raymond did say in just before, that there's no draft now when they go into qualifying. So a lot of those guys at the top earlier, they did have a lot of draft to be able to create those times. So it's going to be who can create the smoothest lap here in qualifying, the less input on that wheel, keeping those revs up. Right down on the bottom, but some of these guys, as we see now, they're running the bottom early, but Raymond runs the middle early. So let's see whether that works out for Raymond. Let's see what happens with the rest of the guys. But as you and I both know, Paul, Talladega, you can start last and still win the thing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you start here and everything. You just let the race unfold and let the race come to you and hang off the back. You don't need to be at the front and let all the drafting and carnage unfold in front of you. If you can get through it all, then you'll be sitting pretty at the end of the race.
Yeah, most definitely. And they don't have any fast repairs tonight either, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone tuning in here on the InterSim Esports Network for round 1 of the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries here from Talladega. They do not have any fast repairs. So if they do get caught in an incident early, it's really going to hurt their race. And with the era of these supercars around here, let alone the NASCARs that we run around here, it's really, really going to hurt them. So they want to have a clean race and keep that car clean for the majority of the 76 or 73 laps. I've got that wrong all night. I've spoken to Paul about that previously, and I've got that wrong all night. So I do apologise to all the viewers, but it's around about the 73 laps. We are going to give you a lot of insight tonight here on the InterSim Esports Network with the drivers who are allowing us to get inside the cockpit to allow how their fuel burn's going, how they are going through the race. So we look forward to bringing you that right here tonight on a Sunday night. But Paul, mate, before we get into the end of qualifying, as we see Matson go into the top, Darren McKenzie P2, Jaden Russell P3, as we see Malone go up into P1 right there, mate. What are you looking forward to the most for the first round that we broadcast of the Australasian Supercar eSeries?
Well, looking at the field, it's a big field tonight. What have we got? Possibly 28 cars, so it's going to be interesting. But I can't even put my money on who's going to win it tonight. Obviously, being a super speedway and Talladega and that, and there's quite a few new names as well that I haven't actually seen before. So it's definitely going to be an interesting race, that's for sure. But it's all going to come down to who's got the best strategy and for pitting and that, if they need to pit and fuel, and who comes out on top.
Yeah, definitely will. Most definitely will. Looks like the qualifying's been completely... Oh, as Reese May goes to the top there. We might have to jump on with Reese May before the race, but Reese May has gone to the top there in qualifying with only about 30 seconds to go. But yeah, definitely, we do not know who's going to win this. We've been around the traps a lot with oval racing and in these cars, so we do not know who's going to win this thing. So we're about to go into the end of qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. We will bring you up on the grid shortly. Reese May currently in first. Great job by Greg Spencer pulling that car up into P2. Malone in P3, Matson P4, and Darren McKenzie P5. Jaden Russell in P6. So she's tied at the top there, Paul.
Yeah, definitely, and that's qualifying done. So we know Reese May definitely has a lot of pace in the V8 ovals from previous series and that. So he's definitely one to look out for.
Yeah, he definitely is, as we're about to go through the qualifying grid. So out of P1 is Reese May, P2 Greg Spencer, P3 Adam Malone, P4 Peter Matson. On the inside of the third row is Darren McKenzie, followed by Jaden Russell on the outside of the third row in P6, Troy Davidson, P7, Raymond Yeager on the outside, who we heard from earlier, on the outside of the fourth row in P8, Justin Witcher, who is a sponsor of this series for Witcher Electrics, on the inside of the fifth row in P9, Dwayne Priest, followed by him in P10, Kay Donnelly P11, Christopher Finlay P12, as we wait for the grid to roll over, as we do. And Paul, you can run through the next.
We've got Dylan Gray starting in P13 with Todd Maxfield alongside of him, P14. Gary Wellman, one of the Sim Boys, in P15, and Nigel Padden, P16. Newcomer to some of the oval stuff, Brett Campbell in P17 and Steve Hoppert in P18. Aaron Dillon and other Sim Boys in P19 there, with Andy Barber alongside him in P20. Peter Apple in P21 with Reese Belitho 22. Shannon Wright P23 with Terry Marwood in P24.
And looks like that rounds out our grid. No, we've got Jamie Nankervis in P25, Michael Shaw P26, and Scott McClintock rounding out the first round of the Australasian Supercar eSeries here on the InterSim Esports Network. But real quickly, Paul, and thank you for helping me there, we've got Reese May in the booth. Reese May, have you got a copy of the pole sitter for the first inaugural round of the series, mate?
Yeah, boys, I'm here.
Mate, great job. We're not going to keep you up here long. We know you need to concentrate, but you in these supercars and ovals, mate, you just keep it coming.
Yeah, they're good fun. Just the pack racing's great, and I just grenaded the motor because, you know, you don't need it for the race, so ping it until it loads.
No worries, mate, but hopefully you change those settings before you're about to go green, mate. But good to see you at the front. great bloke and great racer. So we'll let you strap those belts tight and get ready for 70-odd laps of supercar racing around Talladega.
Cheers, boys.
No worries. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. There's Reese May, the pole sitter for the inaugural round of the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries here, right here on the InterSim Esports Network, as we're about to go green, Paul. So we are about to go green here for the first round and the inaugural round of the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries here from Talladega Super Speedway on the InterSim Esports Network here on a Sunday night. Where would you rather be? As Reese May brings the field to the green, we've got Greg Spencer on the outside with a great qualifying position. This is not how they're going to be after the end of the first lap, I can guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen. Don't expect us to go, or please expect us to go 3 wide very early. But Reese May, it's a very, very long run down to the green flag as we take the green flag now. Green, green, green for the first round of the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries here on the InterSim Esports Network. Reese May gets a great jump on the inside there. Greg Spencer just holding the line up in the second row. He's going to get a lot of help by the cars behind him, and they're going to get a great run. But Reese May's had a great run on the inside, so those guys are going to really want to work together early. As I said there earlier, Paul, we're already trying to go 3 wide, not even 2 corners in. It is 3 wide already. This could end in carnage. Looks like that's Justin Witcher up on the outside.
I believe that's Raymond, actually.
Oh, it could be Raymond, actually. Sorry, mate. I just know they're teammates. So, yeah, it could be Raymond. But we're 3 wide. Oh, and we're nearly 4 wide. Nearly a car in the corner.
We are 4 wide.
Oh, my God. Do I need to call this for 74 laps? Because I'm going to need a heart lung machine, Paul.
Yeah, it's going to be hectic. 4 wide already, and we're only 2 laps into the race. Raymond's obviously trying to get up there and get back on the front there with Greg so they can try and rule this race a bit.
Yeah, Raymond and Greg are definitely trying to work together, but Reese is a little bit smart to that. He's not going to let Raymond drop down in beside him. We've just had an overlay there. Sorry, guys. We've got the purple car on the outside. Not quite sure who that is at the moment, but we'll just let everything settle down. We do have at the back, one we need to look out for tonight too, Paul, is we do have Michael Shaw just sitting there in the background. And I'll guarantee you he's just sitting there waiting. Because I know Michael's not always that confident in the pack racing and all that type of stuff. So he's probably just sitting in the back there waiting and seeing what's going to happen. But, well, he's actually midfield at the moment. So, sorry, I thought he was a different car. But look at that, 5 wide down the back straight of Talladega. This is why we wanted to call this. How great is this? So we are on board with Michael Shaw. He's going to get the drag. You can be 4 or 5 car lengths behind someone coming onto the straight or anywhere in the supercar around this super speedway, and you're going to drag up there. But as we have a big incident on one of the front. Adam Malone in the fence. Oh, we might have to go back to that one if we can.
Yep. Just bring up the replay for that one and we'll see what happened.
Adam Malone was up there really early, so no fast repairs. That's... Oh. Looks like Brett Campbell was involved in that as well. Someone on the inside got... Oh, Malone was the innocent party on the inside and sent down into the fence, so really unfortunate. Is that Reese May going backwards down the front straight? Oh, no, the pole sitter. The pole sitter has been taken out early. That's really unfortunate for Reese May. We're going to have to bring him up into the booth shortly too and see what happened there. But we'll just let everything play out under caution and then we'll bring them up. But there's a lot of guys we can actually bring up to have a chat to because I think half the field was actually involved. So Reese May is actually out of Discord at the moment. Oh, no, he's still there. So we might bring Reese May back up into the booth at the moment, Paul, if that's okay, and just have a chat. Reese May, have you got a copy, mate?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, mate. We saw you facing the wrong way down the front straight there. Give the viewers a little bit of an idea. You had a great start. You obviously started off pole. What was the viewer your take in that incident?
Too many egos trying to get to the front, even though we've got a pit and stuff. I'm just trying to keep it clean. Someone turned into my left rear, and I kept it off the wall pretty good. I might be able to fix it, but it's like insane. Like, we've got at least one pit stop, and people just want to drive 4 wide from the start.
Yeah, it's hard, man, and unfortunately, sometimes this car on ovals can bring that. People want to win early, but we're just broadcasters and commentators, so we can't really have an opinion. But
it is perfect for you.
Mate, I understand what you're saying, and I'm not going to disagree or agree because I need to be bipartisan at the moment. So, but mate, great qualifying effort. We hope you get that car really repaired and to be able to get into the back end of this race because you've obviously got a quick car, and thank you for making yourself available, and we'll definitely be chatting to you before the end of the race.
No worries, cheers.
No worries, mate. Please get that car repaired and get out there and win the thing because if you won it after that, it'd be a great result.
Thank you.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Reese May, who started off pole in this race for the inaugural round of the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries here on the Indysim Esports Network. Unfortunately, getting caught up in an incident earlier. But Paul, I don't know if you got me off mute at the moment. You got a lot of things going on in the background, but mate, Talladega, whether you're in a supercar, NASCAR, truck, or whatever, that stuff can happen.
Certainly can. I think it's actually a bit more door bashing here in the V8s just because they run so well on ovals. In the NASCAR, I think people might be a little bit more relaxed than that. But these V8 supercars around an oval, you can certainly have your elbows out and still hold on to the cars when you're going door to door with each other.
Yeah, you definitely can, but the elbows out and the risk of the elbows out, as you and I both know, there's elbows out and there's just that little bit too far to just get sent into the wall. So sometimes you need to err on the side of caution here on a super speedway and put yourself into the final 10 laps. These guys haven't done that early, as we've seen, but at the same time, I haven't done that early too when I do super speedway. So I'm not one to judge, I'm just a commentator, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. We've got the Justin Witcher, Raymond Yeager currently in the top 3. They're going to definitely want to work together. Aaron Dillon leading, and he is an absolute legend in these supercars and ovals. He is the reigning champion on the last series, so he does really well in these cars. So Witcher and Yeager definitely do have their work cut out if they do want to get in front. But in saying that, Dillon doesn't really have any of his teammates around him at the moment. We've got Nigel Payton in P4 running the Penrite livery on the outside of the second row, who will work with Witcher and Yeager before he does Aaron Dillon. Todd Maxfield will work with Aaron Dillon if he gets a chance, even though they're different teams. Darren McKenzie, never write off Darren McKenzie there, Paul. He's great in these supercars. Greg Spencer also there in P7. Kate Donnelly, who is one of the Sim Boys races as well, in P8. But we are about to go green again as we go down the back straight at Talladega. We're only 6 laps into 76, Paul, so a lot to play out ahead yet.
Yep, early days, and especially with no fast repair, the cautions there and the more damage these cars sustain, it'll be interesting to see how they fare with the other guys running in the pack.
Yeah, it will. I don't know where the other guys at the moment. We don't have Reese May on the relative who had incidents and the other guys who was a part of it. So it looks like they're either still in pit lane or catching up to the pack. So I don't think that's going to matter. don't think that's going to matter at the moment as we're about to go green. But bringing us to the green here on lap 6, start of lap 7 of the Australasian Supercar eSeries right here on the IndySim Esports Network is Aaron Dillon. He brings us to the green. It is under his control. He holds the field. He's holding them up. It's a really, really long run down here to the start-finish line. Aaron Dillon, they'll be sitting there in second gear, I'd suggest, maybe third, depending, but second gear. And Aaron Dillon takes us away for round 1 of the IndySim Esports Network Australasian Supercar eSeries, and we go green again on lap 7 as we see Justin Witcher trying to take it to him around the outside. Don't be surprised if Justin just drops it down right now. There we go, on cue. Raymond Yeager's dropping to the back. He's just left Justin Witcher high and dry. I would have thought Raymond would have dropped down behind Justin there and tried to help him, but in saying that, Justin does have Greg Spencer on the outside there that's going to try and work with him, but that was really weird by Raymond there, Paul. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not too sure there. I would have thought, you know, having Justin there and even Greg's come up as well, that they could have all worked together. But Nigel's actually slotted himself into the front of this pack now and first here.
Yeah, Nigel's doing a great job. Nigel's been doing an absolute sensational job actually lately. He's come leaps and bounds. He's had some really solid results with not only Ann's car, but any type of oval race. He's come leaps and bounds ahead, so he's doing a great job. Hopefully he can keep that Penrite car up the front and keep it going well. So he's had a really smart head on his shoulders, and he's just going to sit in there right now behind Todd Maxfield, who's just dropped down in front of him at the moment, and try and keep that car nice and clean. There are going to be fights on the outside there, and as we see there, they're going to go 2 and 3 wide. They're going to try and get that lead, and this is where people need to be smart in this super speedway racing. They need to stop trying to get the lead necessarily, because if you're in the lead in these super speedway races, you're using the fuel. So, and you need to just completely just sit there, keep your car clean. We've still got to transition through a pit stop yet, so a lot to play out. And patience is hard when it comes to motorsport, Paul. I know we know that as much as anything, because you want to be at the front, but patience is hard. But patience right now is what's going to win the race.
That's it. But I'm definitely liking the way this the second lane's been working together. They did push Todd Maxfield to the front, and Dylan Gray's trying to get pushed up to the front there. But yeah, if they could sit in 2 lines here, they'd definitely have the pace, I think, to that inside line from that outside.
Yeah, middle lane's definitely working at the moment. It's definitely, as you see, pushing up. But you're only as good as the guy pushing behind you. You know that as well as I do, Paul. So you're only as good as the guy behind you, but also as good as the guy in front of you, keeping that car nice and straight, allowing you to get up right behind that rear wing and to be able to get all the aero off it and push it down. But ladies and gentlemen, for everyone tuning in here on the IndySim Esports Network, when we look at oval racing, it is not that simple. These guys are millimeters apart. They are running at 300 kilometers an hour, and they need to keep as close as possible and keep a close car in front of them. They need to trust the car in front of them and what they're going to do, because if you don't trust that car in front of you, you're going to create an incident. So we are only 10 laps into 76, but trust and respect with your fellow drivers is the key on these super speedways, Paul.
That's it. It's not just the car in front of you though, but it is who's around you as well. And if you're not that lead car, then whoever's in front, behind, all around. Oh, we're going to see a big one here as well.
Oh, Nigel Payton's completely sent there, Paul, by the looks of it. We've got another yellow, second caution of the night, 11 laps into round 1 of the Australasian Supercar eSeries. Looks like that was Nigel Payton. We'll just go back to the replay now and let you guys know what's happened. Oh, looks like one of the Sim Boys cars got a little bit loose, maybe got touched from behind, but come straight down into Nigel Payton, which is really unfortunate for Nigel. Not quite sure what happened, and cars behind got caught up as well. Everyone trying to go down below. Let's see, Michael Shaw going down below. Great job by Michael avoiding that incident as well. So unfortunate. We might have to have a chat to Nigel and see what's happened there. Someone off the side in the inside as well, but well, they go under yellow here. We might have to bring some of those guys that were involved in that incident up into the broadcast booth and have a chat. And I think we might bring Nigel Payton up into the broadcast booth. Nigel, mate, we've brought you up into the broadcast booth, mate. Sorry to put you unaware, but unfortunate there, mate. You were doing a great race at the front and caught up in an incident there. What was it like from your point of view?
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but anyway, I wasn't too sure if I made an error or someone got into me, but that's racing, I suppose. So we'll just see what we can do. Don't know how much damage I got, but we'll go push on and see how we go.
Yeah, from us looking in the broadcast booth, and it's a little bit hard for us to commentate and be biased, but it looks like someone got a little bit loose and come down and hit you in the right rear and just sent you in the fence, which is really unfortunate for you. But you had a really quick car early. It looks like a lot of these guys aren't having the patience that you need on a super speedway at the moment. They're trying to win it straight away. Is that what you were feeling within the car?
Yeah, definitely. Like we were 5 wide there earlier on in the first few laps. It was like pretty hectic. So yeah, I think a bit more patience probably wouldn't go astray.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Well, we hope that you do not have too much damage, and we hope you can come out and get a nice solid result for round 1 of the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries, mate. But thank you for making yourself available. Anyone, while you're up here and you're driving around and hopping into the pits and doing all your type of stuff, anyone you want to thank or anyone you want to talk about for bringing on the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries and making this stuff available for the viewers?
Yeah, big thanks to Raymond Jager and Greg Spencer for continuing this league on and starting it up, and which is excellent. And also Justin Wisher Electrical for sponsoring the league, and you guys as well for Into Sims Esports Network for broadcasting, which is great. So we really thank you guys very much for putting on the show.
No worries, mate. We really do appreciate this and appreciate that, and we really enjoy bringing this to the viewers for round 1 of the Australasian Esports SUPERCAR eSeries. So we do really love bringing that to the viewers, Nigel, and we are absolutely humbled to be able to bring that to you guys and the viewers. So thank you for making yourself available, and hopefully we can talk to you later on in the broadcast.
All good. Thanks, Aidan. Thanks, Paul.
No worries, mate. We'll let you go back up and have a good race. Well, there we go, Paul. There is a chat with one of the drivers that got caught up in that incident only 13 laps into the first round of the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries. And I didn't expect to talk to all these guys so quickly. I thought that it might have gone green a little bit quicker, but supercars around Talladega, generally it can create this.
Yeah, it certainly can. Any super speedway can definitely bring out a few cautions, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. As we know, cautions bring cautions, so we'll see how the race fares as it plays on, though.
Yeah, definitely. I hope the guys can just get a little bit of wise heads on their shoulders and just try and roll around there at the moment and get in a position to be in the position to win the race, because if you keep getting caught up in those incidents, you're not going to be. So as we see Nigel Payton there going back into P20 and he's in pit lane, Michael Shaw's in pit lane. Oh, Michael Shaw's in pit lane. That's interesting because Michael Shaw didn't get caught up in an incident. So don't know what he's doing there, because around Talladega, tyres are not going to be an issue.
If I know Shaw's strategy, he'll just be dropping to the back and making sure he's got enough fuel to get home and just hanging off the back there until the last few laps.
I agree with that. I was just about to say that. I think it's a fuel thing. He's just going to be topping up on fuel and making sure he's good to go. But Dylan Gray there, sitting off the pole before we go green again. Terry Marwood with a nice solid drive at the moment. I know we're only 14 laps in, Paul, but we haven't even mentioned Terry's name at the moment. So he's just a silent assassin there on the outside. Matson, we have talked about him early. Davidson as well, we've spoken about him. Jamie Nankervis, he's always strong in these supercars. Terry Marwood's teammate at the moment, so he's doing a great job there in P5. Shannon Wright, they're a teammate again in P6, so those three guys we need to look out for. But like I said, it's a little bit too early. We can't call the sheep stations. It is a speedway, but those guys have positioned their cars in a great spot at the moment to be able to work together, to be able to get in front of these guys and try and create a little bit of a gap. Jaden Russell's there as well. Raymond Yeager's dropped a lot back as well. He might have been caught up in that incident, but Paul, I'll just stop going through that at the moment. We're about to go green again as we go in lap 15 of the Australasian Supercar eSeries here right on the Indesim Esports Network. Dylan Gray is going to lead us to the green. Terry Marwood on the outside. Dylan Gray is gone way early. Way early. It is on leader though, I believe. So Dylan Gray's gone way early, but he's going to make himself a sitting duck for Davidson, Matson, Wright, Marwood, because as these guys bring up their speed, he's going to be a sitting duck coming down the back straight here. So we've got Davidson right behind Dylan Gray, but hopefully they can just sit in behind each other and try and work as the FT Racing guys. Well, I call them the FT Racing, but they are called something else at the moment. They're working hard on the outside, and we've gone too wide already, and we haven't even gone one lap in after the yellow book.
Yep, and Christopher Finley having a big solid run off that restart. He's come back from about P6 or P8 there, and he's jumped right to the front now.
Yeah, he has, but now he's about to get swamped as well, so we're about to go 4 wide again. They just cannot stop going 3-4 wide. They are loving it, and I hope you guys are loving it at home, joining in here on the Indesim Esports Network, because this is what racing is in supercars at an oval. It is 3 wide. It is flat out. And who wants to be your mate? Who doesn't? And as we see the car on the top at the moment, he had a run, and it looks like Gray has just dropped down to try and help. But look at those 3 cars on the middle lane there. They're going to try and work together right now and try and get that run. The car on the outside is definitely a sitting duck, but I don't know. I'm going to run out of breath, Paul, because I can't keep up with it. It's just constantly, lap by lap, in these supercars. And you know as well as I do, mate, from running these cars around ovals, you can be in first coming onto the main straight. You can be in 10th by the time you are into turn 2. So I don't know what to call. Can you help me? Do you know what I need to call? I've got no idea.
Mate, I've got all the button pushes, and yeah, my head's going a million miles an hour between all the screens there, and what to push and what to say and think about that. So
well, mate,
I think you're stuck on your own there.
Mate, you just keep doing what you're doing. I'll keep talking my crap, and I'll get them around here. But you just keep doing your thing. You're doing a great job, mate, and it's great. We're absolutely, while these guys are actually settling down a little bit, we do need to make a big mention to the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries. We are very thankful for being welcome to be able to broadcast their series to the viewers here on Facebook and YouTube and on Twitch and everything like that. So we are humbled. We thank you very much for making us available to be able to do that. So it's great. And Paul, again, thank you for doing everything you do. So here we are, and we are 18 laps into 76 around Talladega, and we are 2 wide in the supercars. It looks like the guys have got their heads screwed on at the moment. They've settled down a little bit and getting themselves into a position. As we say that, who's that going around the outside trying to create it 3 wide, but he's going to get hung out to dry. But Gary Wellman going 3 wide. Dylan Gray there in P1. Oh, what a great move there by Gary Wellman. Have you seen that before, Paul? I've never seen that around Talladega in a supercar.
After having a bit of a run in these in the previous series that has been run under a different banner, I have actually seen that done. You can get a really good run from that second line and then slingshot yourself up to that third line on the high side and run around everyone.
That was sensational by Gary Wellman. We've got some flashes, light flashing at the moment. He's flashing the back marker, saying, "Get out of my road." But Gary Wellman, that was a great move. Oh, there it is. There it is right there. They just needed to be patient. Gary was looking to make that move on the outside, but there was not a second lane there. There was a car on the outside, and it looks like we may go yellow again. But it looks like we're green at the moment. That wouldn't have helped Gary Wellman's car. Jamie Nankervis got caught up in that, I believe, as well. We are still green here on the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries round 1 from Talladega Super Speedway. But so Aaron Dillon, the man who I said who loves these supercars on oval, has shown a clean set of heels and he's out the front at the moment, Paul. As we see Dylan Gray just go in front of him again. So we just cannot keep up with it.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of back and forth, but there is 3 cars there, all Sim Boys cars now, right at the front there. And they're going to be looking to work together and run away from this, as Dylan Gray is going to have a hard time on his own there, I think.
Yeah, he will, definitely with the Sim Boys guys there. But, Paul, I've just brought up Justin Witcher into the broadcast booth. Justin, you got a copy, mate?
Yeah, boys, how you going?
Yeah, good, mate. Bit of a rough start, I believe, earlier. How's your race going so far? You guys were super quick. Yourself, Greg, Raymond, Nigel, etc. were very quick early. Struggled with a couple of incidents. How's your race panning out?
Yeah, we're sitting all right at the moment. I believe I've lost a bonnet and a wing, so...
You definitely have, but there's no problem losing a wing around Talladega, mate. That'll make it faster. So
yeah, no, I'm just working with Raymond now to see if we can get back up to this lead pack, and yeah, we'll go from there. But I thought I might be able to do it with 1 stop left, but yeah, fuel's starting to run away now, so we're back to 2 stops.
yeah, well, mate, while I got you there, if you don't mind me talking to you, and if you're trying to concentrate, please tell me to go away. But just while we got you there, a big sponsor of the series, Witcher Electrics, mate. Great for you to get involved in the series. Great job by Raymond and you and all the guys to bring this series to everyone. So a little bit of a shout out to your business, what you do and everything while you run around at the moment. And if you can do that, if you can't, that's fine. But yeah, a little bit of a shout out to your business, mate, and all your socials.
Yeah, no, thanks for that. Yeah, just Witcher Electrics, do domestic commercial electrical in Ballarat, Melbourne area, Victoria. Yeah, just jump on Instagram, Facebook, Witcher Electrics, and we're on there. You can see what we get up to.
No worries, mate. Well, hopefully we're talking to you at the end of the broadcast, but we'll let you go straight back up into the chat so we can let you concentrate there with Raymond and try and push those cars to the front. But thank you for making yourself available, mate. We really do appreciate it, and hopefully we're talking to you later in the broadcast.
Yeah, no worries, boys. Thanks for that.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Witcher, one of the sponsors of the series. Everyone making themselves available. That's what we do on the InterSim Esports Network. Well, I was about to say switch it up because we did a switch-up series, but we try and bring something different. We want these drivers to come into your lounge room, and we want them to be in your armchair so you can see what they're seeing, and you can hear what they're doing while they're going around. As we see at the moment, Aaron Dillon really doing a great job right in there in P2, but I think Paul Aaron's doing, and sometimes Aaron doesn't do this, but in a supercar he does. I'm thinking he's just sitting there waiting, but hopefully he does not take out the car in front, Dylan Gray. But I know we're a long way to go yet, Paul, but now's the time. Let's place our bets. Let's place our bets.
I'll let you go first there, Aiden.
Well, hang on. Do I have a ball to pull out of 1 to 20? Because I'm going to go. Let's go. Because seriously, we're literally pulling a joker out of a hat at the moment. I'm going to go Gary Wellman. Gary Wellman's going to win it. And he's probably not now because I put the commentator's curse on. I'd really like Raymond Yeager to win it, to be honest. Creating the league, his first time out in the league, I'd love him to win it. That'd be great for Raymond and the team. But you have to pick someone, and I'm not picking it on pace. I'm picking it on literally, if you were to tell me the top 20 at the moment, I would literally just pull it out of the hat and just go, yeah, that one. So I'll go Wellman at the moment, but on a sentimental favourite, I'm going to go Raymond Yeager. So what about you, Paul?
Well, I was more so thinking of actually picking a team, because there's 5 Simboy cars there, and I think they can control this race pretty well. So I was going to put it down to just a Simboy winning the race, but
you can't do that. You can't do that. You've got to do what I did. So you've got to pick one and then a sentimental favourite.
Well, if I have to pick one here, well, it's going to be a hard one here between, my pick would have been Aaron Dillon or even Kate Donnelly there. It's going to be a hard pick between those two.
Stop sitting on the fence, Paul.
All right. I'll throw it out to Aaron Dillon there. For
Aaron Dillon's getting the win. Yep.
And on a sentimental
favourite, or someone that you'd like to see win?
Well, Dylan Gray's doing a pretty good job there, but as this race goes, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hold on to that there. But I think I'm probably going to put it down to maybe Jamie at the back there. He's got Shannon right there with him. And those two are just sitting there back there. But I think we've just gone to a caution here, so we might have to see what happens.
Well, we have gone to a caution, Paul. So that was really unexpected. We didn't really see any of that. That must have happened at the back. So we'll go back and see what happened there. That was Witcher and Raymond. Not a good way for them to start for the first round of their inaugural series of the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries. That is not what they wanted, Paul. All right, we'll just go back and have another look, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like, yeah, Justin Witcher's just got a little bit high above Raymond Yeager there and taken out Reese Belitho above him. So, yeah, definitely that was all on Justin there from a commentator's point of view. So, yeah, very unfortunate there for Reese, because he's been caught up twice and he was right at the front in qualifying. So this is really going to help the Sim Boys, guys, because they were working really well at the front, and there's a lot of cars with damage behind them. So we're only 29 laps into 76. So the more cars that fall out of this lap or two behind, it's really going to help these boys' cars.
Yeah, it'll definitely make things easier for all of them to pit now as well, if they do need to get a bit of a splash of fuel. I dare say with 46, 47 laps to go that they'll probably need to pit again for a bit of splash and go. But yeah, we'll have to see how that unfolds with all of them running at the front there.
Yeah, not sure how the fuel... It's funny you say that, Paul. I'm not sure how the fuel's going, because we did say earlier in the broadcast we were going to talk to someone about how the fuel's going, and they are coming into pits at the moment. So when they come out of the pits, we might bring one of them up and let us know how the fuel burn's going, because from what we heard from Reese Mate earlier, and correct me if I'm wrong, he just thought it was going to be a one-stopper. So there's been a lot of cautions and everything, so I'm thinking they might be able to get through on one stop, but hey, we're just up here in the broadcast booth, so we don't know. We'll get down and we'll have a chat to them, and we'll see what they're saying and what they're thinking with their cars. But like I said to you earlier in the broadcast too, Paul, you run at the front, you use a lot more fuel. So there's a lot of guys that might have been good sitting there and behind. Where I'm actually interested in watching Michael Shaw at the moment, because we did say to him, say about him earlier, he's just keeping out of trouble, and he's now up into P10. He's doing a great job. He is just steering that car around and doing his thing, and that's exactly what it's like. Because remember, Paul, he pitted earlier and he didn't take tyres and he took fuel. So I'll guarantee you he's good to go to the end now. So if there is another caution or something that happens later on, he's going to be off the pole for the restart. Or if someone else needs to pit again, he's just going to go right around him.
Yeah, I think still I'd put it back to that strategy we talked about earlier, where we might see him pit again, go to the back and just stay out of all the trouble. Avoid the big wrecks and keep his car nice and clean, and come towards the end of the race, his car won't have a scratch on it, and we could see him making some big moves.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely will. But he's just been making his car completely clean at the moment and just been sitting there, chilling out, doing his thing. But I've just brought Andy Barber up into the booth. Andy, have you got a copy?
Yeah, got you, mate.
Mate, I'm not going to talk about your race. How about you give all the viewers a little bit of an insight of how your race gone so far?
Yeah, well, I just got tangled up on that first incident up high there on the wall, and unfortunately couldn't get out of it, and then pretty much just played catch up the whole time. So, yeah, interesting times.
How you feeling the car is underneath here? I know it looks like you got a little bit of damage at the moment around these super speedways. That does play a lot of a part, but do you feel like you got something, or are you waiting for another caution or whatever to bring a little bit of damage back, or how you feeling, mate, heading into the green flag after this caution?
Well, I've just finished repairing my car now, so I pitted twice, and it was a couple of minutes there to fix it up. So I have none left now, so hopefully should be able to stay out of trouble and try and get on with it.
Yeah, well, hopefully, mate, and thank you for making yourself available. Hopefully you can keep circulating there and try and bring that car up. By the way that we've seen this race has gone so far, I'm sure that it's not going to be the last time we have the caution, but we'll let you go and concentrate as we're about to go green.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, another one that makes themselves available here on the Indosim Esports Network for the Australasian Supercar eSeries here on a Sunday night. We are going down the back straight at the moment as we have Aaron Dillon bringing us to the green, as he has done. But Paul, Aaron's got a little bit of damage on the inside of that car at the moment. Christopher Finlay is looking really good on the outside. Dwayne Priest looking great with his car as well. Justin Witcher's looking not so good with his front, but he's back up there, so he didn't pit there as well. Dylan Priest and Finlay are looking really good. Also, Donnelly, Wellman, and Clintock are looking great as well. So we'll see how we go as Barber just got the wave around, but we're about to go green, Paul. So interesting to see how we're going to go now.
Yeah, I was waiting for that wave around. I think that was a little bit late on that wave around, wasn't it?
Unless, it was about a lap late, mate.
Yeah,
it was a lap late.
Andy didn't realise that while we was in here talking. But one thing that I had to say was pretty interesting in that pit stop. Quite a few of these guys actually took tyres in that pit stop there as well.
That's really weird around Talladega. Funny you mention that. It's really weird because Daytona and Talladega, generally you don't. And if you do, you just take outside. So, very interesting that they took tyres, but we're not in the car. We don't know what it feels like. So we're just sitting up in the booth trying to make sure, or trying to say that we're awesome and we know what's going on. So we don't know. We're not behind the steering wheel at the moment, but it's really weird for them to be taking tyres, to be honest, especially around Talladega. But they've done that, so it's going to be interesting to see how that happens as we are going again 2 wide, and we're going to be 3 wide very shortly, Paul. Justin Witcher with no bonnet has amazing pace. As I said to you earlier when I was talking to him, with that no rear wing, he's got a no downforce on that rear end, so he's going to be quick in a straight line. Whether he's going to be able to keep it around the corners is something different. But I tell you what, that car looks like something from my Lego set, mate. And I don't know how he's doing what he's doing, but he's doing a great job.
Oh, I think he was trying to transform his V8 supercar into a NASCAR.
Well, it definitely does, but he needs to watch out on the outside now and not make sure that it ends up looking like a Matchbox car, because the cars are going on the outside at the moment. He is a sitting duck on the inside, but we have, who's that? Cade Donnelly on the outside, or Dwayne Priest. Dwayne Priest on the outside. He's just going to sit down there in the side and create that second line. Dylan Gray at the moment. I tell you what, Paul, I reckon you've got the winner of the... Oh, there was the winner gone. Oh, there's the commentator's curse. Aaron Dillon, and it didn't even bring out a yellow, so I thought it was going to be Aaron because he was being very, very patient there, but these guys are going to be able to catch it back up really, really quickly, because the way that these supercars go around these super speedways, they will catch up really quickly. But it's all happening here on... All right, we'll just go back and see what happened with Aaron Dillon. He did a great job to save that one. We'll just go back and have a look at what happened. So Aaron Dillon there leading the pack. Coming through the tri-oval. Oh, that's a great save by Aaron Dillon. And to not take out anyone else. That's a great job. Great job by Michael Shaw to miss him as well. But, all right.
Yeah, that's what I thought there. He just spared off into pits from that, and I think he's going to cop a penalty out of that one. So I think that may be Aaron's race done for the win there.
Yeah, very unfortunate there as we still stay green.
I think you definitely put the commentator's curse on my pick to win, and funnily enough, your pick's now out the front.
Yeah, but that I'll probably put the commentator's curse on that as well too. So I don't know if that's Dylan coming out with no bonnet, because he didn't get anything, so I don't know why he doesn't have a bonnet. But Gary Wellman currently leading this race with Gray on the outside, doing a great job. And Paul, Gray's been doing a great job tonight. He's kept that car super clean. There is not a mark on it. He's just completely making it clean. We've got Justin Witcher there that looks like a crumped up crumpet. I don't know what to say. Like, I can talk. Like, we're only 36 through 76. We've got 40 to go, Paul. Like, but Dylan Gray is doing a stellar job tonight in that purple car. He is doing a great job. But Wellman's great in these cars around these type of places. Great driver as well. So he's going to be there at some point, but the Sim Boys guys are not around him at the moment to help him. So we said earlier the Sim Boys guys were there, so they're not there anymore. They're not far behind. They're definitely not far behind. But guess who's not far behind? Nankervis, Wright, Shaw, all those guys sitting in there. They're just waiting there. They're like people going fishing, right? They're there just putting their bait in the water and just waiting for all the other big fish to get caught, and they'll just go. So that's what they're sitting there for. They're not trying to race so far. So there's another 40 laps to go, and there's a long way to go before we get to the end of this one, Paul. Do you like all my acronyms, by the way?
Yep. I don't know if you just noticed that, but that Peter Madsen just done the old slingshot again, making it 3 wide from that high side out to the front.
Yeah, that outside line's definitely getting a little bit of run there, isn't it? It's definitely, it did early, it is now. I thought more so that you would have been more cars on the outside line to be able to create that run, but that's more from my NASCAR or truck thing. But in the supercar, it doesn't seem to be that much of a problem. You can create your own line. So as we see there, look at the massive run we're getting on the outside there by Madsen. So very different car on a very similar track. It's very interesting.
Yeah, but Dylan Gray definitely wants to have his time back at the front again, and he's doing everything he can to try and get around Peter Madsen on his own there.
Yeah, very, very valid, Paul. But if I was Dylan, I know why he wants to go to the front, because he doesn't want to get caught up with someone tagging him from behind. But obviously he's okay on fuel. But if I was him, I don't know, if I was okay on fuel, I'd go to the front and just go. But we don't know what he's like on fuel. But we can find that out pretty quickly. But we'll just let this settle down a minute as we are about... Oh! Great job there by Dylan Gray. As we're about to go 3 wide, I was about to bring him up, but I'm definitely not going to at the moment, because it's a little bit full on as Dylan Gray just drops down in the front of the leader. We will just let him keep going on. Paul, you have a little bit of a chat for a moment as I try and organise Dylan to get into the booth.
Yeah, definitely some shoulders and elbows out there from Dylan, trying to get that spot back, using every bit of track, every bit of draft he can get, and popping out at the right time. I thought pretty close there with Gary, with a bit of a cut-off almost. Gary might have had to check up a little bit just to let him back in, so there wasn't another big one at the front there. But he got the job done, and he's back out in front where he wants to be.
Yeah, definitely there, Paul. And we've got Dylan Gray up in the booth. And Dylan, if you need us to move you back down, let us know, because I know you're concentrating. But, mate, you've got the lead at the moment. You've definitely had a great race. If you want us to move us down, let us know. But how's your race going so far?
Bit sorry for what happened to Os, the one that was leading earlier in the race. Can't remember who it was.
Dillon. Yeah,
I got tagged in the rear and then came straight down in front of him by accident.
Yeah, mate, so your race is going all right so far. You're about to go 3 wide, so if you don't want to talk, don't talk. Just concentrate. But, mate, you've kept a complete clean car so far. You had a great qualifying position. You've been in a great job tonight. We're now about to go under lights with lights at Talladega Super Speedway. You're doing a great job. Are you feeling comfortable coming into the end of the back end of the race?
Yeah, I'm feeling very comfortable. Hopefully I can hold off Pete, you know what I mean?
All right, mate, well, we'll let you go concentrate. Looks like you need to concentrate, so we'll just put you back up there. But, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. There's Dylan Gray, the current leader of the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries here on Round 1 and in Sim Esports Network Switch-Up Series. We bring it right here to you, right here on the driver's seat, as we see Dylan being pushed down the back straight, but we'll let Dylan go right up into his race channel. And Paul, how good is that to have these drivers allow us to bring them up? Well, they are 300 kilometres an hour, side by side, 2 millimetres apart, concentrating and talking to us.
Yeah, it definitely puts the limitation on if they can handle that or not, and the pressure's there when it's such close racing and trying to concentrate and trying to talk to us at the same time.
Yeah, it definitely is. Well, from your point of view, would you be able to do that?
Well,
I don't think I
yes
could.
and no, but no one wants to bring me up during the race because I'm halfway down the back of the field, so just buying the car.
There's rubbish, Paul. There's rubbish. All right, so there's the broadcaster thing. He's just erring on the side of caution. He's not. He comes 6th or 7th the other night, so he's definitely being humble. But no, these guys are great. They allow us to bring us up into the broadcast booth, or bring them up into the broadcast booth. And as you see, ladies and gentlemen, here on the IndySim Esports Network, look at this. We are going 2-3 wide, and we'll continue to do that. The lights are on now, so they're obviously flashing for the policemen that have their speed cameras on, but around Talladega there are no speed cameras, so we are going green, 44 laps into 76, and Dwayne Priest there on the outside making a big run on the outside of Gray and Matson. Justin Witcher with his crumpled cars doing a great job, Paul. I thought he looked like a Matchbox car, and he's just cruising around there.
Yeah, it's surprising the amount of damage he sustained, but it's not really affecting him too much.
No, it definitely isn't. But what will be interesting, and I think, we know Justin, he's smart. I don't think he wants to be at the front of this race because of that reason. If he gets in the front of this race, he's going to be left behind. So he's utilising the cars in behind him and trying to save fuel, and he's going to try and make those last 2 or 3 lap runs. This is Talladega, but yeah, Justin's doing a great job. He's definitely going to have great front line or long, down the back straight speed or down the front straight speed, because he doesn't have a rear wing. But his car might be overheating a little bit as well, but we might pull him up shortly as well and have a chat and see how his race is going. Jaden Russell's been a real quiet one tonight as well, Paul. He's usually really quick in everything he does, and he's been really quiet, so he's not one to ride off either.
He's just buying his time. He is down 3 spots from where he started, but it's definitely not to say he's not going to be picking up those few spots in front of him, and he is sitting 9th now, so it's early days for him still, and I'm sure he'll be looking to make his move within the next sort of 15-20 odd laps.
Yeah, he definitely will. What I'd really like to know is whether they need to pit again, but I don't think they do. I do not think they do. With the way that the cautions went and the way that pit stop under caution went, I don't think they need to pit to the end. Michael Shaw's still doing a great job there back in 12th position, sitting his car there. He's just waiting. He's like the shark that's ready to pounce. He's waiting for the instant, and he's just sitting back there. He could race harder, but he's not. He's just trying to get a clean race, and it's working out well so far for him. So as we move on into lap 47 of 76 of the inaugural round of the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries here, brought to you live, free and exclusive on the IndySim Esports Network here on Facebook, Twitch and YouTube. We are 47 of 76 laps into a super speedway race in the SUPERCARs. You see, ladies and gentlemen, they've got lights on. They are ready to go, and the sun has gone down as Gary Wellman is on the outside there. Is he going to drop down? He drops right down there in front of Dylan Gray. And we have Dwayne Priest trying to follow him right there on the inside as well, with Matson in P4 as we are trying to go 2 wide again and 3 wide as we nearly get into the wall. These guys just don't know how to sit behind each other, do they, Paul? They just want to keep going.
Everyone wants their time at the front, I think, and not sure if the way the points are working, if there is... Oh!
There we go! There it is! Oh, we've had a blink out.
I think Dylan Gray's actually disappeared off the track.
Yeah, we've had a blink out there. Not sure what's happening there, whether we gave him the commentator's curse, but let's see whether that catches up.
It's very unfortunate for him if he's...
No, Dylan Gray's out. It looks like he's had an internet connection issue. So very unfortunate for Dylan Gray there. We might have gave him the commentator's curse. He was doing a great job because it's saying he's out at the moment. So it looks like he had an internet connection. So we've got internet connection issue rather. So we've got Wellman there at the front, Justin Witcher, who we've talked about as the crumpled car in P2, Dwayne Priest P3, Matson 4th, Christopher Finlay in 5th, Cade Donnelly 6th, and your man, Jamie Nankervis there in P7, sitting there nice and comfortably as we are 49 laps in 76.
Yeah, and just looking here, Jamie's actually the biggest mover so far. He's up 19 spots from where he started, and he's currently up to 6th.
Yeah, he's doing a great job, but as we've seen in this race, and it's very lucky he's got his team rate, is that a word? Teammate Shannon Wright there, right behind him, gonna want to work with him as well, so we're only 26 laps to go. These guys are just going to sit there in behind the lead pack and see how it is going to play out. But don't be surprised there's another caution here, Paul, because I reckon with 10 laps to go, we're definitely going 4 wide, mate.
Yeah, and it's definitely good these supercars have headlights, otherwise we could be in trouble. It's getting a bit dark out there, so these bigger packs will help them a bit more, I think, with the lighting around them compared to the smaller packs. They might struggle a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely is getting dark, and it's a great thing about this series and us broadcasting it here for the first time here on the Indosim Esports Network that we didn't know it was going to go dark this early, and we thought it was going to be completely sunshine the whole time. So we've gone dark now, so this creates a bigger factor for these guys to be able to create those concentration levels. So these guys are going to be on the edge of their seats at the moment, sitting in there behind those cars, trying to keep them clean, know what their relatives are, also understand who is in beside them, who is outside them, as we're trying to create a 3-line at the moment with Justin Witcher, but Justin just sits right in beside. Now Justin's laid out beside, but we've seen that high line work. If he can use this outside draft, use this side draft down the back straight now, he might be able to get this side draft and tuck right down there into P1 and lead the first lap he has in this race for round 1 of the Australasian Supercar eSeries. But in saying that, who have we just seen going around the outside? That looks like that is Jamie Nankervis taking the lead. Or is that Matson?
Yeah, so Jamie did get a really good push there from his teammate Shannon Wright. But unfortunately, Peter Matson just had another good run around the high line there. And it seems to be working there. Every time someone pops out to that high line, someone else will pop out and give them a bit of a push to the front.
Yeah, exactly, Paul, but you need someone to work with you. As we see Justin Witcher there just get hung out dry, just tucks himself back down in behind there. You really need someone to help you there on the outside line to push you through. So it's going to be interesting who's going to want to work with who's going to do what. So, yeah, we are 53 laps into 76 at the moment, and Pete Matson at the front's doing a great job. Justin Witcher he's a wily old fox, even though he's not old. Um, he's going to be sitting there and waiting to see when his move's going to be. But the thing Justin needs to know is, and he does know that, but with 20 odd laps to go, when he does make his move, if he stays in behind there, he needs someone to go with him. But like you said earlier, Paul, too, that outside line with that draft, that side draft, you can get that run. So we'll wait and see what happens. There's a lot to play out now with 22 laps to go here in round one of the Australasian Supercar eSeries here on the InSim Esports Network, mate. So can't wait to see what happens as we see Dwayne Priest on the outside there on his own, trying to make a move around the outside.
Yeah, I think Dwayne's going to get hung out there a little bit, although he seems to have the pace there. As I said, that high line does seem to work a bit, with even with a bit of a side draft, he can still get a good run there. But yeah, Justin's doing a great job there pushing Peter Madsen at the moment. They're trying to break away from the rest of them.
Yeah, they are. It looks like they're working really well together at the moment. But ladies and gentlemen, just while we've got a second, I've just pulled Raymond Yeager up into the booth at the moment. We'll go on board with Raymond Yeager. Raymond, mate, I know you got a copy there, and I'm sorry to bring you up unannounced. I know you've had a bit of a struggle for this race so far. Give the viewers a little bit of an insight on how your race has gone so far. You've created this series, and not the way that you wanted to start your series so far. Not saying the race is done and dusted for you at the moment, but how's the race gone so far, mate?
Yeah, nah, she's toast, mate. The car's very second-hand. Had about 6 minutes of damage from when myself, Reese Belitho, and Justin had a bit of an incident. Trying my best to sort of stick with Greg here, but yeah, we're all down on power. We're pretty cooked, and yeah, not the greatest start to the season, but hey, it's 11 races after this.
Yeah, exactly, mate. That's a great attitude to have, but great for you to be able to put on the series, and great to have you up here and allowing us to broadcast it for you and making all the drivers available, etc. So we really do appreciate that. But in saying that, you said Justin Witcher, you got caught up in an accident, and he is your teammate, and as you see Greg in front of you at the moment, or behind you, Justin's doing a great job with a crumpled car at the moment up there in P2, so there might be something to come out of it for the team at the end of the night anyway.
Yeah, I've got no idea how he's up there with, like, he's got no bonnet, he's got no boot, and he's running second. I've got no idea.
Well, we know these supercars, mate, when you get damaged with no bonnet, no boot, especially on a super speedway, sometimes with the way that iRacing's done these updates, you go quicker. So we don't know either, mate, but thank you for making this series available. And mate, before we let you go, I know you're sitting down there and just trying to circulate. We're 57 laps into 76, and we're about to go on into the back end of the race. But, mate, quick shout out, big thank you to all the sponsors that you want, everyone that you want to do for making this thing available. And, yeah, mate, the floor's yours for the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, look, I want to thank you guys for stepping up and broadcasting. We were keen to get a broadcast for the league, and you guys are more than happy to do it, so we're stoked about that. Obviously, Greg and Justin and the two Pattons, we all sort of chipping in, running the league, so thanks to them for all the work they've done. And obviously, Witcher Electrics and AP Esports as well for the actual series sponsors. So, I mean, without all of those guys and girls, and no girls, but everyone else, we wouldn't be running. So, I mean, 27 cars tonight, so absolutely stoked with the turnout for round one. What do we got? We've had 3 cautions, so not too bad. Yeah, pretty happy, to be honest. So it's been a good round one.
Just before you go there as well, I just want to, if this isn't too much trouble and it's not going to put you off a bit, on your relative, behind your pack, who was that car behind you?
So behind me?
Behind Nigel, I think behind you.
So I think Justin I think Justin's actually the next
that
car.
That car there you just passed. I'm not sure.
That was Todd Maxfield.
So that's very interesting. He doesn't have headlights, so that's going to make something very difficult for him getting around this track at the moment.
That would make things very difficult because I completely blanked and forgot Talladega had no lights. But hey, we got lucky and the V8s do have lights.
And I said that in the broadcast. It was very interesting. I wasn't expecting it to go that dark that quickly, but
but I forgot the track didn't have lights.
Well, that mixes it up there, Paul. But ladies and gentlemen, there's again Raymond Yeager, the creator of this league, along with Greg Spencer and a lot of other people, the Paytons and Witcher and all those guys. So we do thank them, and thank you, Raymond, for allowing us to make yourself available. I know how hard it is, especially on a super speedway, to concentrate and come up in a broadcast booth. So we really do appreciate your time, mate. So we'll talk to you after the race as well, and we wish you all the best for the rest of the season. We cannot wait to bring the next 11 rounds to you here live on the IndySim Esports Network series.
Yeah, no worries, guys. Thanks for having a chat, and thanks for broadcasting. And it should be a pretty good finish, I reckon, coming up. So get excited.
No worries, mate. And I think I just said that wrong, but you'll correct me later. IndySim Esports Network, not series. But anyway, have a great rest of your race, and we'll talk to you after the race, mate.
No worries, mate. Catch ya.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Raymond Yeager, the creator of this series for the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries here on the IndySim Esports Network. They all make themselves available, and I love that these guys make themselves available for all you guys watching at the moment on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So, Paul, we are 60 laps into 76. Matson's currently leading Davidson in P2, Witcher in P3. Matson's now gone back into P3. So it's got very dark real quickly, hasn't it?
Definitely has, but the interesting thing is I believe Matson just pitted, so he went in for a splash of fuel, so there could be some pit stops coming up very shortly.
Yeah, it could be, and this is the interesting part, Paul. We haven't known what the fuel strategy's been and what they're going to be. When we spoke to Reese May earlier, who's out, and he's disconnected, I think, by the sounds of it. When we spoke to him earlier, it looked like it was going to be a one-stopper, but at the moment, it's looking like they're not going to get to the end, and that could be wrong, but we don't really have anyone to get that information off at the moment. Actually, we do. So we will do that at the moment. And we'll do this quietly, and Justin will talk to you in a minute. Just concentrate on what you're doing. But we've just brought Justin Witcher up into the booth, and we've only done this for a quick 30 seconds, mate, so keep concentrating. Fuel-wise, you good to go?
What was that? Am I good?
Are you good to go fuel-wise?
Give me a sec.
Yeah, you do your thing.
Yeah, all good.
All right, mate, we'll let you go down. We just wanted to get a little bit of a snapshot for the viewers. So you just go down and concentrate on what you're doing, but thank you for that, mate.
No worries.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Witcher there in P2. He's good to go on fuel. So, Paul, are the other guys around him good to go on fuel? What do you reckon?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, it all depends on who took fuel under those pit stops and who stayed out. But Peter Matson's back up there anyway. He's back on the back of his pack, so not sure if our timing's actually working properly or what the go was. But he had a 23 odd second stop in pit, so it doesn't seem to have lost much. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens here.
Definitely will. I can't believe how dark it's got. It is completely dark. these guys, if we thought it was hard, let's go on board with Justin Witcher at the moment, Paul, and go on board and look what it's like running around Talladega with no lights and see what it's like from a supercar running around. We'll just turn the volume up and let's watch a couple of laps from Justin Witcher and supercars for the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries around Talladega here on the eSports Network. Most definitely there, as we've just seen a lap around Talladega at the night time without any lights on. Oh, as we have a caution, Finlay's in trouble. Oh, there it is, Paul. We have one, and look how dark that is. So we go under caution, 66 out of 76. Troy Davidson. We'll go back to the replay here and have a look at what's happened. Oh, who's got the middle lanes just got down into, that looks like Justin Witcher's got down into him unless the inside lanes come up. So Justin Witcher, who was doing a great job all night with that crumpled car, looks like his car is even more crumpled. So Paul, that's going to mix it up definitely as we go into the last 10 laps of this one.
Yeah, there's going to be some unhappy drivers with that one, I think. But yeah, it's definitely quite a challenge now. The close racing, the door-to-door, plus the darkness of it now. It's proven quite a challenge to some of these guys.
Yeah, definitely, and it would be a challenge for most of us. Very challenging, and the concentration levels would be completely heightened, considering they are running off headlights. And like I said earlier, Paul, before the sun went down, they're running at 300 kilometers an hour within like 3 millimeters of each other. Now they're doing it in the dark, so that makes it even more so scary and trusting the drivers around you. Look at all those flickers as you see with those headlights. I don't know if you're like me, mate, but me being in the driver's seat, I'd definitely want to be trusting the driver in front of me, because there's not a lot to see in front of you. That's pretty much what you're going off.
Yeah, just trying to look here, because there's a car in the mix there, again, that doesn't have headlights, going back a few cars there. And I was trying to work out who that actually is there. What's it, 015?
I don't think the relatives caught up yet, mate. I think we'll just let the relative catch up as they go across the line.
Yeah, it's actually Brett Campbell there. He's actually back in 16th. But yeah, he's another car that doesn't have headlights, and there's another car a few back again that doesn't have headlights there either. So these guys, if they've got damaged cars and can't keep up with the pack and no headlights, it's definitely going to be a fun one for them.
Yeah, most definitely. But Paul, just as we do here on the IndySim Esports Network, we've just pulled Pete Matson up into the broadcast booth just impromptu. And Pete, we do apologise if we did that without your knowledge. But, mate, we are 68 laps into 76. Not a lot of vision there. You've just got your headlights there. Great job at the moment with the race at the moment. How's the race unfolding for you?
Mate, it's got to be the most exciting race that I've had this year. We're sitting second. We've got good draft. No need for any more fuel. I'm excited. I'm thinking a podium, so I'm very excited.
Mate, hopefully you do get a podium, but you've had a great job all night. You've had a nice, solid car. The thing is, you've kept your car pretty clean. You have got a little bit of incidents in different things, which is definitely known to happen around a super speedway, especially like Talladega, and then you add the supercar, and then you add no lights, and then you add headlights and everything else that goes along with it. But, mate, been doing a great job there at the moment. We're 68 laps into 76. What's your tactic coming into the end of this? Because obviously draft is going to play a massive part in this. You don't want to get caught on the inside if people are having a run on the outside. You don't want to go on the outside too early if no one wants to run with you. What's your plan going into the last 8 laps of this one?
Oh, it's certainly not to lead the last lap. So, we'll definitely come from behind, and we might even sag off a bit to push the speedo into the 300s and get a good run off turn 4. So it's great. It's a great place to race too. So it's been pretty good racing all night.
No worries, mate. Paul, before we let Pete go, mate, anything you want to have a chat to him before we let him go green and, as he says, try and hold it back and get that P1?
I'm curious about the VW logo on the Holden car there.
Yeah, no, we run a league, and one of the sponsors for us is Rockdale Volkswagen. But so I thought I got to put it on the car for the year, and like you guys, sponsors are everything, right? So
that's it.
Yeah.
And if you got a podium there, you can give them another shout out at the end of the race there.
We'll be sharing the broadcast most definitely.
No worries, mate. But thank you for making yourself available. Really great to be able to have you guys making yourself available here on the InterSim Esports Network for the Supercar eSeries, Australasian Supercar eSeries here on the InterSim Esports Network, mate. So we do thank you for making yourself available, especially while you are going around, but we'll let you go and concentrate now as you're about to go green, and we'll put you back up into the race channel, and we'll hopefully be talking to you at the end.
Thanks very much.
There we go, Paul. There is a little bit of a chat with Pete Madsen as we're about to go green with about 7 laps to go here on the InterSim Esports Network for the inaugural round of the Australasian Supercar eSeries, mate. So great to see Pete making himself available again, as all the drivers have.
Yeah, that's it. And just looking here, so we've got 11 cars on the lead lap with 7 to go. So anyone could take this race out, yep.
100%, mate. And there's going to be another caution. We've got Nankervis, which was your call. We've got Shorey still there at 9th. We've got Donnelly leading us to the green at the moment. Justin Witcher, I don't know how he's still there in P3, but he is, as Cade Donnelly takes the green here on the Australasian Supercar eSeries Round 1 from Talladega. Got a great jump. Matsson's definitely going to be there. He's got a nice clean car. Witcher's going to want to use all his wash to try and keep his speed, because Witcher does not have a clean car at the moment. Oh, sorry, Gary Wellman's doing a great job around the outside. Mattson has been snoozing a little bit on that start, but Mattson's definitely going to catch up to Wellman on the inside here. But that middle line's got a great run. But
look at Jaden Russell around the outside here again on that 3rd lane. He's getting a huge tow around the outside.
Jaden Russell is gone. Who's that behind him? Shannon Wright. Shannon Wright's going 3 wide. Shannon Wright's going to take the lead of the Australasian Supercar eSeries here at Talladega. Shannon Wright with a great run around the outside. Jamie Nankervis is going to come in and help him, as well as Jamie makes it 3 wide around Jaden Russell. No, that's not around Jaden Russell. Sorry, that's around Christopher Finlay. Jamie Nankervis around the outside. Is Jamie Nankervis going to try and get clear and drop down in front of Shannon Wright? He's got nowhere to go. There's no team orders at the moment. This is on, Paul.
Yeah, the boys are putting on a great show for the last few laps here at Talladega, and everyone wants to get up on that podium.
Yeah, most definitely, but looks like Jamie's been hung out wide at the moment at the top. Shannon Wright on the inside, Jaden Russell on the outside. He's doing a great job making that mid-groove work. As he pulls down there, that was very, very great driving by Christopher Finlay there just to let him in there. So Chris is just making his move when he needs to, but there we go. Christopher Finlay makes the move on the inside there. We are only 4 laps to go here on round 1 of the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries here on the InterSim Esports Network Switch-Up Series. And I feel like I need to call the win at the moment because it's just going to get crazy. I don't know who to call because every corner there is a different leader. So we are here. Christopher Finlay there on the inside. I'm just looking in behind. Jaden Russell there on the outside. Shannon Wright and Cade Donnelly right there as well. Michael Shaw is in the mix as well. So here we go, Paul. Michael Shaw has just sat back and he has waited for his time to pounce. And here it is, mate. He is on the outside and he is waiting to move. But at the moment, I would not like to be Jaden Russell because I am a sitting duck as we're about to go too wide. And here's the move gone now by Christopher Finlay. Shannon Wright is stuck in behind Jaden Russell. So Finlay makes the move to the lead at the moment. He wants to lead this race. We are 73 laps into 76. That high side's going to continue to work, but Christopher Finlay is happy to lead this race at the moment. This is really good for Jaden Russell. He's going to sit in there. Who's going to make the move early? But we've got another couple of laps as we see Gary Wellman around the outside having a great move, getting a great draft as Gary Wellman's going to take the lead of this race and he's going to drop down in the front of Christopher Finlay, I'd suspect, as he does. But Jaden Russell around the outside sits there in the outside of Christopher Finlay as we are 74 laps into 76. Now Finlay's got the move. He's got Davidson in behind him. Michael Shaw is joining in on the outside. We have Shannon Wright. Jamie Nankervis has gone to nowhere. He's sitting in there behind as well. So it looks like it's a battle of these top 8, Paul. We are 2 laps to go to the end, mate. I'll let you get an edge in sideways before I get too excited.
I don't know where Gary Wellman come from, but there was a huge run come from back from 8th, I think, all the way to the front there. There was an absolute massive draft he pulled on that.
Yeah, great draft. Absolute great draft. But we're now into the final 2 laps of the inaugural round of the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries, brought to you right here on the InterSim Esports Network on a Sunday night. And we have Jaden Russell on the inside. We know that the outside lanes move and we are 3 wide. Jaden Russell is trying to cover it off that middle line at the moment. The outside line's running. He's not going to be able to protect the inside line as he hasn't at the moment. He's trying to protect that inside line, the middle line. We're about to go 4 wide as we go into the final lap at Talladega on the outside line. Looks like Cade Donnelly's doing a great job. Michael Shaw's doing a great job on the inside as well, on the outside as well. We're nearly 4 wide. Christopher Finlay on the inside. What a move that was. Michael Shaw's doing a great job. Michael Shaw might win this. He's got a great drive on the outside there. He's got to get a little bit of side draft. Get in there with the side draft. Just keep it nice and steady as we go down the back straight. Michael Shaw's got a big push there by Jaden Russell. So here we go. We're going into the final corner. We are 3 wide. Who's going to win this? Is Shorey going to give him enough room? Jaden Russell's going to want to push him. Oh, it looks like on the inside, Christopher Finlay's got a good run, but Michael Shaw's doing a great job. Here we go. We are 4 wide, and who's going to win it for the... Oh, no, Shaw, he's been taken out. Who's going to win it at Talladega? It looks like it is Christopher Finlay. Jamie Nankervis in P2. Shannon Wright in P3. Oh, my God. Talladega does not disappoint, does it, Paul?
No, that was a huge finish there, going 4 wide, and it was only going to end one way, I think.
Yeah,
elbows out.
Yeah, they probably should have given each other a little bit more room, but hey, we're just up in the commentators' booth, and they create us the content. So, how great was that?
That was definitely quite the content they created on that finish.
Yeah, definitely, and hopefully we can get some of these guys down in the broadcast booth after the race. They're not in here at the moment, but hopefully we can. And we'll see how we go to be able to talk to these guys after the end of the race.
Well, if I had it my way, I would have got this pick right, because I said a Simboy would have won the race. So,
well, you also tipped Nankervis, and he comes second. So, mate, you're not too far off. So you did well, but we'll just bring the people up into the broadcast booth at the moment. So we got Jamie up here at the moment. We just need Christopher Finlay and Shannon Wright. Just looking because they're not connected on our Discord at the moment. So if they do want an interview, they need to be up in our Discord.
It's so dark there that we can't even see Christopher Finley's burnout this moment.
It's definitely dark. But I don't think we'll have Christopher Finlay. I know Jamie Nankervis can hear us at the moment. He might be able to help us with Shannon Wright coming up into the Discord. That would be helpful. Otherwise, just having a look now, mate. Okay, so...
Well, we're just grabbing the drivers. We'll just bring up the official race results there. So
yeah, I'll let you run through them, Paul, as I just get the drivers up in the booth, mate.
No worries. So in P1, taking round 1 for the Australasian SUPERCARs eSeries, we have Christopher Finlay. And in P2, we have Jamie Nankervis. P3, Shannon Wright. P4, Peter Matson. So unlucky for Peter just to miss out on that podium there. And in P5, we've got Jaden Russell. P6, Cade Donnelly, followed by Troy Davidson in P7. Michael Shaw in P8. Dwayne Priest in P9. And Justin Witcher rounding out in P10. Gary Wellman, P11. Darren McKenzie and Brett Campbell, P12 and 13. Aaron Dillon coming back into P14 after having a pretty solid run there at the front, but unfortunately going 8 laps down. Scott McClintock in P15, Nigel Padden P16, followed by Raymond Yeager in P17, and Todd Maxfield in P18.
As we move along there, Paul, we've got Andy Barber in P19, Greg Spencer P20, Dylan Gray 21, Reese Belitho, who qualified off the pole, so a very unfortunate race for him. Reese, mate. Sorry, Reese Belitho out of 22. In 22, Terry Marwood, 23, 54 laps down. Reese May qualified off the pole. Thank you for correcting me, Paul. With a very unfortunate race there in P24. Steve Hoppett, P25. Peter Apple, P26. And I believe rounding out the field in P27 is Adam Malone. And ladies and gentlemen, everyone tuning in here for the inaugural round of the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries, brought to you right here on the InterSim Esports Network. We now go into the post-race celebrations, and we do have the top three in the booth at the moment. And we'll start off with P3, Shannon, mate. P3 at Talladega. Could you see anything at the end of that race?
And it was awesome, dude. It was just like, hold your breath and just make sure you make it. That was all it was, mate. It was cars moving around. I just had to make the right choice who was going to be behind.
Yeah, mate. So, ladies and gentlemen, Shannon Wright up in the booth, P3 at Talladega for the first round. But, mate, I saw you were working with Jamie and your other teammates, as you usually do through that race, and I'm sure you would have been talking together and everything to be able to get it up there. There were a few unfortunate incidents earlier, and you guys were lucky to get around it. But how'd the race pan out from your point of view? Were you comfortable where you're sitting? How was your team tactics playing out?
It was a safe run just to make sure that we kept our tyres good, our fuel strategy right, making sure we're in the draft, that we didn't lose the draft, and just sat back and just wait to the opportunity, mate. It was a whole team effort. We yeah, everyone was like helping each other out, and mate, you couldn't ask for any better result, really.
Doesn't surprise me, mate. You got Jamie in your corner, and you got other guys in your corner. I'm sure you guys definitely work well together. But mate, what was your favourite part about the race? Like, I wasn't expecting from a commentator point of view or a broadcast point of view to go that dark and have those headlights and everything. So, were you expecting that from a race perspective? Did you know that it was going to go that dark that quick?
No, mate, I had a part there where I was coming around the corner and I could see the sunlight was like, it was really in the eyes. I thought, maybe it might start go dark. And one of the cars, I think, had a bit of damage on the front. It was a little bit hard to pick him out. But, mate, I think my favourite part was that draft. I got down that back straight. Nick pulled the lead. I got, holy shit, I'll just keep going with this.
Mate, I was jumping off my chair when you were doing that, by the way. So go back and watch the broadcast. So, yeah, I was getting a little bit excited. But, Paul, I'll let you have a chat to Shannon, mate, before we let him go. And I have a couple more questions for him. But anything you want to have a chat to Shannon about before we let him go?
That was yeah, quite a good race. Obviously, you know, you had a few cars fielded there, so you had a couple of cars you could work with throughout the race, and yeah, obviously you and Jamie done a great job there of working together through that. You know, was there any intentions of you know, wanting to go for that P2 yourself, or was it just obviously bringing the cars home and a podium for both of you?
Mate, that's about right, dude. It was the whole team effort. Whoever had the opportunity to go for the podium, we just supported whoever was going to go for it.
Yeah, that's good. Always good to work together, and you know, as long as you're bringing a couple of cars home for a podium, that's always great results.
Mate, and a great result too for our team. We're sponsored by Adrenaline Events. Just kicked off here in Australia, so it's great promotion for us as well.
And while you say that there, Shannon, now's your time to shine with that, and I'm sure Jamie will follow that up as well. But mate, what Paul said and what you commented on there with his question, Talladega and super speedways is definitely about the team, and that's a really good thing about your team. And you all work together and try and make each other better and try and get each other better and get to the front. So that's exactly why you had two of your cars on the podium tonight. So that's really great to see and really refreshing to see. But we'll give you your time in the sun before we have a chat to your teammate, Jamie. Anyone you want to shout out to tonight here and give a big thank you for your P3 result?
Yeah, mate. Tez obviously had a bit of a bad run straight off, but mate, he jumped in as a team player does and helped us on the outside and gave us some good spotting ideas. And mate, without Tez giving his support and Jamie, mate, he coached me there for a bit. All I want to do is keep putting tyres on. He goes, "No, trust me, trust me, trust me."
No
you know
ties at Talladega, mate. No ties.
Yeah, mate. I trusted him, went with it, and mate, every call he made, it went well.
That's awesome, mate. Well, thank you for jumping into the inaugural round of the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries, and also here brought to you live on the InterSim Esports Network. So we do appreciate it, mate. We hope you like the call, and thank you for giving a big shout out to your sponsors. But without further ado, we'll move on to P2. Jamie Nankervis, mate, I'm sure you've got a copy. Great drive. You just sat that car in the right spot all night. There was carnage everywhere at different occasions, but knowing how you drive and how you put the car in the right position, I'm sure you're happy with how your night went tonight.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I am, but I'm kicking myself. I just didn't quite get that run when I wanted it down the bottom there on that across the line. There was a little bit more in it, and I just didn't quite get it at the right time. But no, that was awesome. It was a good night.
And we saw you sitting back there, probably in around about 10th position there. You were just cruising, and you go back and watch the broadcast, and I could see that you were just waiting. And we have lots of conversations outside of this, and I know how you drive and stuff, and especially on a super speedway. You were waiting for the right time. And I even said that with Michael Shaw. He was doing that as well, and Paul mentioned that. You're just waiting, and we said that at the beginning of the broadcast as well. You just wait and wait and wait until your time's to go, because at the end of the day, you need to be there at the end. And that's exactly what you did. So great drive. I don't know whether you would have got to that position without that incident in the last corner, but at the end of the day, you need to be in that position to get there. So well done, mate.
Yeah, thanks. I actually said to Raymond just after we crossed the line, I said I felt like a jockey on a horse waiting for the gap to open up to find out where it was. So it did take a bit to get there, but Christopher did an awesome job coming home in first, and also Shannon. Thanks, mate. That was awesome. As I kept saying to Shannon all the way, the race doesn't start till a couple laps to go, so that's when it started to fire up.
Yeah, exactly, mate. And Paul, just jump in with Jamie and have a little bit of a chat with him before we let him have a big shout out to his sponsors and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, so as Shannon said, you did a bit of coaching with Shannon on a bit of strategy to help the team out and help get both of you guys up there on the podium.
Yeah, correct, mate. It was just keep it clean, keep it straight, and stay up there and just position it somewhere for the finish.
And that's all you got to do at a super speedway is just keep out of trouble and pace around until, as you said, the last couple of laps when the race comes to you.
Yeah, and once again, guys, shout out to you guys, InterSim. You do an awesome job with the broadcast, and thanks for Raymond for putting it on.
No worries, mate. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's Jamie Nankervis, your P2 tonight on the inaugural round of the Australasian eSports or SUPERCAR eSeries. So, Jamie, before we let you go, mate, now's your time to shine. Have a big shout out to all your sponsors, everyone that's involved, and have a shout out to them before we let you go.
Yeah, thanks, guys. As I said, thanks to you guys for putting it all together and broadcasting it. It's awesome. Adrenaline Events, of course, as Shannon said, just taken off, and it's going gangbusters. So anyone wants to look us up, the website's on the car, so go and have a look and see what we can do for you.
No worries, mate. Thank you so much for making yourself available. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, P2 on the first round of the Australasian eSeries or SUPERCAR eSeries here on the InterSim Esports Network, Jamie Nankervis. So we've got to move on to the man of the moment, Christopher Finlay, P1, mate. That race was never done and dusted. You never knew where you were going to finish, but you ended up in P1, mate. What a great job.
Yeah, thanks for that. No, I thought it was all over with about 8 laps to go when I got turned down the back straight. I was starting to spit chips a little bit there.
Yeah, it was definitely tough. The old draft around here, you could go from first to fourth or fifth in one corner. So did a great job. You positioned your car well. And obviously there was an incident in the last 2 corners, which obviously made that a little bit easier. But at the end of the day, you put your car in the right place to take the win tonight. So well done.
Yeah, thanks, mate. It was really actually quite a team effort. All the sim boys were running quite well for most of the race there, and to have us all up the front was nice. It was excellent. It was great fun.
Yeah, that's good, mate. But yeah, we did mention that in the broadcast too. Your sim boys are always really quick in these cars on an oval. So you were working really, really well early, and we did make comment of that in the broadcast. It's very unfortunate for Gary Wellman, Aaron Dillon, and those guys because they were doing really well early as well. So it's a little bit of what could have been for the team, but great for what it was for you. So great job, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate. It would have been nice to have them up there with me, but there's always going to be next week as well. So.
Well, Paul, I'll hand it over to you quickly with Christopher and have a little bit of a chat with him before we let him go. And I'll bring it over to have a shout out to the sponsors again and all that type of stuff. But yeah, great job, Chris. And yeah, we'll hand it over to Paul.
Yeah, so that was one of the things I mentioned in the broadcast. You know, obviously all the Sim boys there were running up the front and showing really good pace there, and it's quite interesting watching you guys going toe to toe with each other as well. Was there a lot of noise and discord, obviously, between you guys and working together, or just having a bit of fun, and didn't matter where any of yous came?
Yeah, it was probably more that we're just having fun out there. We were trying to work together a little bit, but with that draft, we were just kind of going past each other and then tucking in and then letting the next car go back around. So probably looked worse than what it was, but it worked out well for us.
Yeah, it definitely looked a lot of fun out there, and I know I'd love to be back on the track racing these again as well. It was definitely a lot of fun.
You and me both, mate.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most fun series currently going around. That's for certain.
Yeah,
well, mate, sorry, you go, Paul.
Yeah, I did enjoy running these in the early days when it was back in the VF and VF and Ford Falcons, and then obviously that moved on to the newer ZB and Mustang as well, and now on to the new banner with Australasian SUPERCARs eSeries. But yeah, they're definitely a lot of fun out there, and anyone that is watching that wasn't racing, I'd highly recommend jumping in this series.
Yeah, definitely there, Paul, and I'd second those comments. Anyone that is out there watching this live on the IndySim Esports Network, definitely jump into this series. It is a great series, great bunch of blokes, great driving. As you saw there, the driving standards are great. We did see there were a couple of cautions, but all of us that know that run oval, this is super speedway, so sometimes cautions breed cautions. But Christopher Finlay, mate, the winner of the inaugural round of the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries, brought to you right here on the IndySim Esports Network, mate. Now's your time to shine too. Anyone you want to have a big shout out to before we let you go, all your sponsors and everything, before we wind up the broadcast?
Just want to thank Raymond for putting on the series, you guys into Sim for broadcasting it. No sponsors to thank, but definitely want to thank the Sim boys. Yeah, this one's going to probably get celebrated on Friday night up in the shed, definitely.
That's right, mate. As long as you put on a Facebook Live video so we can watch that, that would be great. So we can see your celebrations, because we might put that on IndySim as well. But no, great job tonight, mate. It was great calling it, and you did a great job getting that P1. So very happy for you guys, and can't wait for round 2 next Sunday night.
Yeah, definitely. Let's hope this keeps rolling on.
No worries. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There is the winner of the inaugural round of the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries right here at Talladega, brought to you live on IndySim Esports Network. But before we let all the guys go, or all the guys can go, but we need to bring Raymond Jaeger up in the booth at the moment. Raymond, mate, you are, as I know you do have other guys in behind it as well that help you out and do everything, but you've always pushed for this SUPERCAR Oval series, and you always wanted it to go ahead. I remember before the last series, you pushed for it to go ahead when it wasn't going to go ahead, and now you've just jumped into the deep end and created your own, and you were worried about entries and all that type of stuff coming in tonight, and oh my God, like, mate, you had amazing entries and the quality of your racing was sensational, mate. So, number one, thank you for allowing us to be involved in it. But number two, kudos to you, mate. Like, first round, 28 entries, Talladega Super Speedway in a supercar, and a sensational event and sensational show for the viewers. And hopefully we created that for you too on the broadcast.
Yeah, look, as I said when you brought me up towards the end of that race before, yeah, I was a little bit, apprehensive about how many we'd get rock up, and to get 27 or 28 or whatever it was for the first round, yeah, absolutely stoked. Couldn't be happier. The boys, mate, they put on a hell of a show. I actually pulled over with about 5 to go just so I could watch the last 5 laps because I knew it was going to be a crazy finish, and they did not disappoint. So, I mean, well done to Chris and Jamie and Shannon on the podium. But, I mean, the rest of them, Peter, Cade, everyone that was up the front there, man, they all did a great job. And obviously, Shorey, oh my God, he got wrecked right at the end, but he had a hell of a run.
I thought he was going to win that one.
So did I, man. I was like, he's got this. He had to run, and then obviously the wreck happened, and he can't do anything about it. But look, as I guess the league owner, couldn't have been happier with round one. Went really, really well. Only 3 cautions, and most of those were early on. So, yeah, no, pretty happy, eh?
Mate, you did a great job, and it's great for you to be able to bring this to all the viewers and to be more to the point, bring it to all the racers to be able to race it. And we know as much as anyone, bringing leagues to people, it can be hard. And at the end of the day, you spend your own money and your own time to bring this to the drivers. So it's really great for you to do that, mate. And I'm absolutely really proud and stoked to see the turnout it has been for the first round. And I can't wait to call the next 11 rounds. So, mate, kudos to you. And unfortunate on your result tonight, but I know it's not about your results. It's about the benefit of the league. So,
that's exactly right, Aidan. I finished 17th or whatever, but that does not even bother me one bit. The feedback these boys are just given, hearing that they were stoked to be running and things like that. That's what it's about at the end of the day for me. Happy to be able to provide it, and like you said, been pushing for this. I think it's one of the most exciting forms of racing that iRacing provides at the moment, to be completely honest. And yeah, just pretty. I'm thankful for you guys for coming on board and broadcasting it, because obviously we've run a couple of series before under a different banner, but we didn't have that broadcast, and I thought that we were just missing out on what could be. So thanks for you guys stepping up and broadcasting it. And as I said, all the boys that run each and every week, they do a great job. And yeah, we look forward to a lot more really, really good racing in the next 11 rounds and into the future after that.
No, well, hopefully we did a little bit of justice tonight, mate, and we do appreciate those kind words. But before we round out this broadcast, Paul, and as we just saw there, Paul Raymond Yeager, the league owner, along with other people, with Greg Spencer and different people that make this thing happen, we do need to have a little bit of a shout out to the major sponsor of this series, which is Witcher Electric. He has done a great job helping this series get up and running as well. So Justin had a great job tonight. He actually ran really well with a crumpled car and did really well early, up until about 20 laps to go. So thank you, Justin, for supporting the series, mate. Without people like you, this series does not happen. Also, secondary sponsor AP Esports is just there as well as a sponsor, helping out the series with a trophy. But these guys that are making the series happen, it is all about them. But Raymond, before we let you go, mate, and we wrap up this broadcast, anything else you want to say before we let you go? It is round one. We do make a big deal about round one because I know it is a very proud moment when you're doing round one of your first series. So say anything you like before we wrap it up.
Yeah, look, I mean, yeah, you covered it off for me there. The sponsors there, which are electrics, bloody, yeah. Justin does a great job for us. Helps us out. Yourself, AP, I should say AP Esports, offering to put up a trophy for the winner. That's just fantastic. And like I said, the race admin team, which is Greg Spencer, Justin Witcher, Matt Patton, and Nigel Patton. We're gonna have a little bit of work to do tonight, but that's all right. And look, at the end of the day, without drivers, we don't have a league. So I just want to thank all of those boys for that do come out each and every week. And last season we had 19 rounds. We cut it back because we know it's a bit of a slog. So cut it back to I think 13, 12 or 13 this time round. And I'm pretty confident that we're going to get these boys each week. And we should have 20, 25 cars most weeks and put on some really excellent racing. And it'll be interesting when we go to some of the road courses. I know some of these boys don't race too much on the road courses, so that could be interesting. But yeah, overall, as I said, for round one, exceeded expectations. Yeah, that's about it, guys. Appreciate you broadcasting it on Intersim Esports Network as well. Like I said, just adds a bit extra to the league.
No worries, mate. We absolutely love doing that for you. And just remember, with those road courses, I'm happy to swap out for you to commentate for me to run the road course. But yeah, just saying. But anyway, as we move on, that is round one of the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries. Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries here on the Intersim Esports Network. So we have just round out Talladega Super Speedway. We do head to Atlanta Motor Speedway next week on a Sunday night for 130 laps. Then we go to Michigan International Speedway for 100 laps for round three. Then we go to our first road course at Oran Park for 40 laps, and then we go back oval for Kansas for 134 laps, then to Texas for 134 laps as well. Then we have a lot of other laps otherwise down there, but we'll bring that to you live here on the Intersim Esports Network. So, Paul, mate, first time broadcasting, first time commentating the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries. I tell you what, I am absolutely astonished at this racing. We've raced with these guys before, but it's not about us tonight. This has brought a whole new level, and I cannot wait for the next 12 rounds.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. And the other thing, I'm definitely looking forward to these road courses, which is something new to this series as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, 100%. I'd love to be running them, but we can't do that. But we will enjoy every single moment of bringing you all the action of the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries here on the Intersim Esports Network here on a Sunday night from 7:45 p.m. every weekend. But Paul, we'll just wrap it up now, and we'll thank everyone for joining or who is watching the broadcast at the moment. But thank you to everyone involved in the Australasian SUPERCAR eSeries, Witcher Electrics, AP Esports, everyone on the eSeries network here on iRacing, and from everyone involved, from myself, Paul, Prue, who's in there in the background doing socials, everyone involved in the Intersim Esports Network. We thank you so much for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you tuning in next Sunday night at 7:45 p.m. here on the Intersim Esports Network. And we wish you a good night.